Hello and welcome to the Ware Brothers Podcast. We're coming at you on July 4th, 2022. Happy 4th of July, America.
That's right. Coming at you from the Weir Brothers Podcast.
And this is our first live recording with brand new cameras. And so it'll be really exciting. Check us out on YouTube. What's going on, Pablo Broskabar? Pablo Broskabar. Yeah,
What on earth was that?
Broskabar. We needed a new one for.
Oh, my goodness. You went with Pablo Broskabar?
Well, okay, I'll do a 4th of July one. Hello, George Broskagin.
What? Oh, my God. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, we're going to start this all over again.
No.
I'm just kidding. Okay. Not bad, Kenneth Lincoln. Abraham Ken Lincoln. There we go.
No, there's no bro in there.
Oh, my goodness. Brewinkin.
What's up?
Right.
What's up?
What's up? All right, we'll get to the good stuff, I promise, here eventually. It's been 2 weeks since our last podcast because we're waiting for our equipment to come in to get set up for our first official video that we can put up on our YouTube channel. So we were super excited for that. We want to make sure we had everything in good working order for everybody for the millions.
And millions.
That's right. Of our fans. It's so weird. I think the millions of fans can't find the comment button on our YouTube page, but that's cool. You'll get there eventually.
Well,
yes. Yeah. Okay.
Well, once we're out there in the YouTube algorithm, it'll take a while, but
we'll get there eventually. We had a very fun-filled weekend. Once again, we got to hang out together. So rarity twice in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We had some fun stuff on Saturday. We met at our folks' place, played some catch for a while, worked on our golf swing, which didn't translate to the golf course all that well on Sunday, but it was a lot of fun. Had some good food. Okay. Our form looked excellent. Our contact, not so much. So we hung out, watched some TV, relaxed, played some games, and then Sunday we hit the golf course. First time in eons that I've been on a golf course, and I assume a while for you as well.
Well, since last year. Went golfing last year.
Oh, okay. Just kidding.
But this was my first time on the golf course this season, so felt good. Felt good to be out there. My lovely wife joined us, so that was fun.
Yes, she showed us up. She
did.
She was like the tortoise in the hare race. She was slow and steady, but she hit the ball straight 95% of the time.
Yeah, man. She was consistent.
She was very consistent. Yep. She was a very consistent 50, 60 yards at a time, and she just kept making her way down the course. Ken and I were in the woods often looking for our ball. Yep. It
was fun.
We had an absolute blast.
That was my first time golfing first time ever using a golf cart while golfing.
Yeah.
So it was really fun when you'd be driving the golf cart, and as you're driving, you'd swing as you drove by the golf ball.
Yeah, it was people on the horses and the
like polo.
Yeah, polo. That's why can I think of that polo?
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to use the golf carts, right?
Exactly. You just hang out the side.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I tell you what, those golf carts were quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lightning.
6 miles an hour.
Woo! Woo! Zooming. Anyways, so that was our weekend. We got the dogs together. Ryder and your pup Nevaeh had a grand old time. Hit the hiking trail for a little bit yesterday. Anything else exciting we did this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you what. It was a fun-filled weekend. And speaking of the pups, I don't know about Ryder, but Nevaeh has been pooped. She's just been knocked out.
Yeah, Ryder's the same way.
He's been a tired pup.
He's passed out on the floor behind me right now. But I also had something exciting happen. I unsuccessfully tried convincing your lovely wife, Emily, to have you two get a motorcycle by taking her out for a motorcycle ride.
But you did, however, get her on the back of your bike.
I did, and she was terrified
was a success.
For 99% of the ride.
So, safe to say, Taylor, unfortunately, probably no motorcycle in my future, but she was brave. She got on the back of your bike with you, so I'm glad that
she was. I was very proud of her. Yeah, it was good. She immediately said she was crossing it off her bucket list and never doing it again.
Well, that
So
was good. That was good. So before we get started on the news, I do want to say since we were able to meet up this weekend and Em and I were over at your house, for those of you who obviously can see behind Taylor, he is in his podcast room that he got set up. So this was my first time actually being able to see it in person, and I have to say it is awesome. Taylor has done a fantastic job with his podcast room. It is shaping up nicely. It's a really really cool spot, and it could double as a home office. Look at those
look at
wires.
that.
Yeah, I got the TV. Very cool. Very cool. So yeah, so props to you, really. Like I said, I really really love how your room's coming along there.
Thank you. It's been a work in progress, faux show, but yeah, I'm excited to. It's nice just to have like a dedicated room for it, and basically it's a walk-in closet, and
Is that like Tarjay?
Tarjay, Smole. So yeah, it's I like it. It's homey, it's quaint, just enough room for the dog and myself. And yeah.
And I have to just do one more quick little shout out. My favorite thing on the back shelf is that leather-bound Mistborn book you got there.
Tickle. Yes. I'm hoping to add to that collection coming up. For those of you, I know this is a video game podcast. For those of you who are into the fantasy world, Brandon Sanderson in a Cosmere is absolutely amazing. I turned Ken onto that a couple years ago.
Oh, sure.
He had never heard of Brandon Sanderson before me. No, I'm just kidding. Ken introduced me to Brandon Sanderson, and he's amazing. Mistborn is my favorite series from him. Ken is completely and head over heels in love with Stormlight Archives, which is an okay series from Brandon. Just kidding, Brandon. That's really good, too.
Yeah,
anyways,
Brandon Sanderson is a gamer. If you're listening and you ever want to come onto the podcast, be our guest.
Absolutely. I will fly you out economy to anywhere that I will put you up in the finest Motel 6 I can find. He's like, where do I sign up?
This sounds great.
Yeah. You ever been to Maine, Brandon? It is lovely this time of year. If you have a dog, bring your dog. They'll love to meet Ryder and Nevaeh. We'll go out on a walking trail.
That's right.
That's right. Anyways, all right. So, fun-filled weekend. Ken, we got a lot to talk about this week. There was a lot that went on the last 2 weeks. We had not one, but two Nintendo Directs to talk about. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and then also a mini Direct from Nintendo. But before we jump into all that, we'll go through some news stuff here for you.
Let's get to it.
Bungie won a $13.5 million settlement from Canadian Cheats Company that was downloaded 6,765 times at $2,000 per pop. They were penalized for, according to IGN.com. Did you hear anything about this?
Yeah, I have actually. I listened to a few of my Destiny YouTubers that I listened to talk about this. I'm glad to see Bungie is stepping up, because in very competitive play style, not play style, but like competitive match called Trials of Osiris. I'm sorry, it's that's not Trials of. It used to be Trials of Osiris. It is kind of, but it's same 14 does it. Anyway, it's just called Trials. but you'd go on. It's a 3v3 PvP mode, and you'd get cheaters all the time. You get people hacking and cheating, and it just wasn't fun, but Bungie really cracking down on this is really good.
That's good. I mean, yeah, I hadn't heard anything about it until I saw the article, but you're putting all this time and energy and effort into a game for millions of people. You want to make sure it's being played the way it's supposed to be played, Makes sense.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
A bit of disheartening news. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 remake was apparently abandoned after the Blizzard merger. Which is a little weird. I mean, I haven't played the remakes of 1 and 2. I've heard amazing things about it. I have it on my favorites list. But you would have thought that would have been a no-brainer to make the 3 and 4 remake as well, which is a little surprising.
Yes. So I had had no idea about this until reading it just now. I also find it surprising. I as well have not picked up the 1 and 2 remakes. Same thing, like you said though, they got just absolutely fantastic reviews. That's a game that when it comes on sale, I definitely plan on picking it up because Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I find it very, very surprising. I'm trying to think of what Blizzard merger.
I think it was with Activision. Was it part of them?
Yeah, but I feel like Activision Blizzard, that happened that happened a while ago.
Yeah, well, I guess it was so it was right after 1 and 2 came out that the merger happened. And then there was plans to have the 3 and 4 was in development, and then they were like, for whatever reason after the merger, we're like, nope, we're like retooling a bunch of stuff. But you think of that would be a slam dunk to make money. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like you have to like build a game from the ground up type of thing either.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is I'm gonna kick myself because I know I'm gonna get this wrong, so I want to look it up. But the company that they use to remake 1 and 2, they are like that video game company, or I should say that developer. They just do remakes, and so so I'm wondering if they pulled them off of 3 and 4 to put them onto another remake. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that could be the case, but I just found that very interesting as well.
Yeah, so I wonder maybe it's just what I'm hoping is that it's just tabled for now, and maybe they'll come back to it.
They better. Star Wars news: Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Apparently, there's a bug on the Nintendo Switch version that it's crashing and not allowing people to beat the game.
Ooh, that ain't good.
You'd think that would have been something you would have figured out in like the pre-production portion before it was released, but apparently not.
Okay, so I'm sorry, real quick. So in my head, I didn't say it, but I was correct. So yeah, Vicarious Visions is the developer who worked on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Okay.
And so Vicarious Visions also did the Crash Bandicoot remakes and the Diablo 2 remake. So, like I said, Vicarious Visions is a very it's a very, very good studio. They also worked when Bungie, which makes Destiny, when Bungie and Activision had their deal, Vicarious Visions helped with the Destiny 2 Forsaken DLC, which is touted as one of the best like DLCs for Destiny 2. And Vicarious Visions is a really good game studio that helped with that. So they're probably working on something else right now for a different remake of something. So
they better be, and they better come back to that. Not that I've picked up 1 and 2 yet, but I will eventually. And then I want to play 3 and 4.
Have you ever played a Knights of the Old Republic?
No. The only thing I can compare it to, it was from the same company that did Mass Effect, right?
Yes, BioWare.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, BioWare. That's what I thought. Because I remember seeing video of Knights of the Old Republic, and then when Mass Effect came out, I was like, this looks very similar in terms of like the bionic abilities, things like that. No, I've never played it, but I have heard, great things about it.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there touted as, their favorite RPG of all time. One or two, I'm not sure. Like I've played both just a few minutes here and there, so.
Oh, you never beat them?
Never beat them. But hopefully they can patch this out soon, so people can finally finish it on the Switch.
Producer of Final Fantasy 16 came out and said it won't be open world. Your thoughts?
I think that's fine. I don't think all games necessarily need to be open world. These, I mean, that's like a lot of games these days are crafted in an open world. But I think that if you can create like a large enough environment that it doesn't necessarily have to be open world, because sometimes open world can, I think, feel like too just the same, just randomly kind of generated, just sameness, you know what I mean? Whereas
sameness,
like, you can really just handcraft like an environment specifically tailored to just to that sort of space. So I I know a game recently that I played through and beat was the newest Tales game, Tales of Arise for the PlayStation 5. That
Yep.
wasn't open world, but the locales were open, and as you went through like different zones to zones, and that was relatively linear, but still had enough of an open world feel. So when they say it's not going to be open world, I imagine it will have a similar kind of design choice like that. And that
Cool.
game was an excellent RPG. So from what I've seen of Final Fantasy 16, I have complete faith. It looks awesome. I think it'll be just fine.
Yeah, again, like you said, I don't think every game has to be open world. I know it's like kind of been the big trend over the last few years, but I think there's certain
Absolutely.
games that'll work well and lend itself to that, and some that don't. So,
Right.
yeah. No Man's Sky news. Have you played No Man's Sky at all?
I have not.
Here's your chance. Apparently, it's coming to the Switch October 7th of this year.
Awesome. Looks good.
Yeah,
Won't play.
yep, good for No Man's Sky. I haven't played any of it either, but I've heard mixed reviews about it. Yeah. This is interesting. Made me think of you. So Overwatch 2 will replace Overwatch 1 at launch.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea for what?
Nothing. I just didn't really know what that entailed. If people would be happy about that, or because I think when they originally announced, I read Overwatch 2, they said it would be alongside Overwatch 1, and then later on they said no, it's just gonna basically everything from Overwatch 1 is just gonna go.
Yeah. Again, I personally think that's fine. I mean, why you keep resources and developers for a game that essentially is not going to have any more content come to it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I remember correctly, they said that the Overwatch 2 like multiplayer is going to be free to play, correct? And
Yes.
then so I mean, if everything's going to end up pretty much coming over, don't waste time and money on one. I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sonic news. So Sonic Origins. So this is the one that is the remake of 1, 2, and 3, and some other stuff in there. Just what we were talking about a few weeks ago. So the Sonic Origins developer, Simon Thomley, I probably butchered his last name. He is unhappy with the launch of the game, frustrated with the bugs due to a rushed nature of the game, even offered to fix the bugs after release with updates, but not sure that'll happen. This is according to IGN.com. Once again, why are you rushing? Like, I understand having a deadline for stuff, but why are you? I don't get it. You're not making it any better. I feel like all you're doing is throwing money out the window if you're just like, oh, we got to get it out by this date for a certain reason. And then to have the developer be like, well, okay, well, we can fix these and release it as a download later on. And he's still saying not even know if they'll allow that to happen.
Yeah, so I'm not sure who the publisher of the game, because I would imagine, would it be the publisher of the game that's probably rushing it? Like,
probably.
Yeah. And so I don't know if it's Nintendo or, but it probably isn't. It probably isn't Nintendo, actually. I don't know,
they don't
because it's coming
Nintendo.
out because it's going on a whole bunch of different platforms. So I'm not sure who the publisher is.
Either way,
but that
don't
sucks.
Rush.
Yeah, don't rush games, man.
Yeah, take it easy. All right, moving on. So I messaged you last week, Fire Emblem Heroes. So I messaged you. We played this. We dabbled in it for a little bit as a mobile game for a little bit.
I didn't remember that you played this.
Yeah, I remember I did it for you. You were like all hot about it. You're like, you need to download this. And I downloaded it, played it for like a week or two. And then I'm like, all right, I was moving on. Apparently, a lot of people have not moved on. This just passed the $1 billion threshold for Nintendo.
That is wild.
$1 billion for a mobile game. I know people have mixed feelings on like mobile games and like properties such as like I downloaded Super Mario Run, which I loved. Played through the whole thing. I thought it was great. And I've done like Dr. Mario and the Mario Kart World Tour that I had for mobile, and then we played this a little bit. But I kind of look at it like this. So Porsche about 20 some odd years ago released the Cayenne. It was an SUV, and people thought it was an unholy to do so because they were a sports car company. But they've said Well, without this SUV that is bringing in billions and billions and billions of dollars, we wouldn't have a 911, we wouldn't have a Boxer, we wouldn't have a Cayman. So if you're releasing these mobile games and it's generating money to put into franchises that people do love and play on the console, I'm all for it. However you want to get your money, as long as you're releasing the games I love. It's kind of the same. I looked at it similar to what Porsche said, where they're like, well, it may not be a purest vehicle, and that's fine. I'm not going to buy a car. Well, I can't afford to buy one anyways. But if I could, I don't know if I buy one, but I'm glad it's there because it allows a 911 to exist.
Because you're going to buy a 911.
Someday, if our millions of subscribers can help me out. Don't worry, I'll put it on our Instagram page when I can afford one.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyways,
one day we'll get every subscriber one as well.
Whoa. Slow down there, Padre.
One day.
Anyways, some more interesting Nintendo news. Perhaps using this $1 billion wisely, they have purchased millions of dollars in raw materials, and it's a 600% increase over last year, which many people are speculating could signal the production coming soon of a next-gen Nintendo console. Wum, bum, bum. I know. So,
Taylor.
Yeah, Ken.
If they were to come out with a next-gen Nintendo Switch console.
Yes.
Would you buy it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So it's funny because obviously this weekend it was a running joke because I've been playing the new Monster Hunter Sunbreak, and when Switch launched, I went out that morning to Walmart because in New Hampshire systems you can get your hands on them. So if you need to get a system anywhere, come to New Hampshire because we have them. But so I was able to get the Switch at launch. So my Switch is from day one, and the battery life on my Switch lasts about an hour. No, it may last a little more than that, like an hour and a half. But
hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah. So all weekend I was just like, all right, playing Monster Hunter handhelds. Okay, need to charge my Switch. And Taylor has one of the newer Switches. And you played yours that morning before getting to mom and dad's all through the day.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, I'm finally at 20%. And I'm like, I've had to charge my Switch 3 times.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I would buy one just for the extended battery life.
Yeah, speaking of playing this weekend, I played through, I have the Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. So I just finished Mega Man X4, which was awesome. I was a huge fan. 2 and 3 were decent. 4 is probably my second favorite of the X series. 1 is still top notch. 4 was really good if nobody's ever played it. I liked it a lot. Very straightforward, very easy, I guess, to play through, but it was good. I liked it.
I like the updated, the upgraded graphics change from the NES to the PlayStation. It looks really nice.
Yes, yeah. Going from, Super NES for 1, 2, and 3. And then PlayStation for number 4. Yeah, the cartoon cutscenes were pretty sweet. Like the anime, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
made it work.
I wish they would have done a Mega Man X anime. That would have been really cool.
Ooh. All right, Capcom, if you're listening, you heard it here. Well, I'm sure 5,000 other people have said the same thing. You heard it here for the 5,000th and first time. You should make a Mega Man X anime. Just saying.
They're listening to us. They're like, oh my God, the Word Brothers podcast said we should make a Mega Man X anime? We never thought of that.
They're like, that's amazing. All right, well, that wraps up some of our news. So we'll jump, like I said, we a lot to cover with 2 different directs over these past 2 weeks. So we'll jump into those news sections momentarily, after we get to our new games of the week. Week.
And it got back. Wow, to me. Yeah,
you
like
caught
that?
My echo. That was pretty good.
I did. Yeah,
I was like, what are you looking at?
Anywho. So we're gonna start off in July. I know we missed the end of June, but I have to give a shout out. So for those of you who don't know, the new expansion for Monster Hunter just came out. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak.
What game is that?
For this. It's the best game ever.
What's the name of it?
I have no... Bro, I'm going to get you into Monster Hunter. It's literally... Okay, so we have talked about how over the years, games have my personal opinion, in the last 20 years, games have lost the big boss battles, like truly epic boss fights. I just haven't felt like back in the day, like when you're a kid, like it's just those big boss battles were so memorable. And I feel like we kind of got away from that until back probably good 6-7 years ago now. When I first got into Monster Hunter, I got into Monster Hunter with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for the Nintendo 3DS, and I was hooked. Every single fight is a big boss battle in Monster Hunter, and there's just so much depth to the game. It's a game I know that you would love, Taylor, and one day you're going to get into it, you're going to sink your teeth in, and it's going to click, and you're going to go, oh wow, I can't believe I've been missing this game for so long. So, for those of you who don't know, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak came out on last Thursday, on I think June 30th came out. So go pick it up. It's out for the Switch and the PC. So
I'm sorry, I just woke up from a nap. What was that?
Yeah. So starting with new games for this week, the Parasite Pack came out on July 1st for the Switch, PS5, PS4, and Xbox. The description for this game reads, Flee is a challenging 2D platformer with an integrating backstory. That's what I said. With an intriguing backstory. Play as Henry, the hyperactive flea who just can't stop jumping. Meet weird characters and discover secrets while exploring 80 levels of brutality, difficult yet nostalgic 8-bit mayhem. So this is the reason why it's called a Parasite Pack, is because it comes with 2 games.
Oh.
And
okay.
Yeah, the next game is Tapeworm Disco Puzzle. Is a grid-based puzzle game where you play as a tapeworm.
What? Tapeworm? That's weird.
Yeah, the local nightclub owner. Guide the tapeworm to avoid enemies and obstacles in 100 levels of retro-inspired, challenging fun.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome.
That's weird. A nightclub owner? Wait, is the tapeworm the nightclub owner?
Yeah, I think so. Like that was the weird part for you? A nightclub owner? Like the tapeworm was.
That makes sense. Oh, I can wrap my head around the tapeworm, but a nightclub owner?
Yeah.
That's the hook. They're like, okay, we got to come up with this puzzle design. And some guy's like, I got it. Tapeworm who owns a nightclub. They're like sold.
Genius.
You got it.
So
you know that meme where like they're sitting in an office and the guy makes a great idea and gets checked out the window?
Yeah.
The guy's like, oh, that's a great idea. He's like, phew, out the window. He's like, who's the idiot over here who didn't like my tapeworm idea? And why does it have to be a tapeworm? Why can't it just be like a regular worm?
Yeah, I don't know.
Guy probably got sick beforehand. He's like, man, this tapeworm was killing me. I should make a video game about that. Yeah. He's like, that's genius.
Probably was a nightclub owner. Anyway.
Anyhow.
So, came out on July 1st. We have F1 2022 for the PC, PS4, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. Enter the new era of Formula One in EA Sports F1 2022, the official video game of the 2022 FIA Formula One World Championships.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I probably would still wait for Forza, but yeah, it's fine.
What are you talking about? This is going to be the pinnacle of racing games for the next decade. Maybe.
Up next, we have
Anyways.
Match Point Tennis Championships. This also came out on July 1st for the PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox consoles. Steam's description reads, the season starts now. Grab your racket and become the world's next tennis champion. Your opponent is on the court, and the crowd waits for the promising challenger of the grand finale. Are you ready for Match Point?
Sure. I do like tennis.
Yeah, Switch tennis.
No. Yeah, I like Switch tennis. I like the Wii tennis, but I like tennis as well.
Tennis.
Dude, there is a big 3-way jump for. Oh, that's the word I'm looking for. There are 3 guys at the top of the leaderboard for most Grand Slam finals everywhere.
3 guys.
What?
Tennis.
Well, no. So, you get Rafa Nadal.
Yep.
Who right now has the most Grand Slam champions, and then right behind him is Novak Djokovic, and then I forget the other guy's name. Anyways, they're all within like a major each of them from like destroying everybody else. Anyways,
Cool. Yeah. Tennis
whatever.
is cool. I mean, I wish I played it more when I was younger. I know Dad played
Yeah,
when he was growing up.
like I'll watch a Grand Slam, the big four, but that's about it. Anyways, match point, go.
Yuru Kill.
What? Gesundheit?
The culmination games comes out July 5th for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the Nintendo Switch.
Calumination?
Culmination games.
What the hell does calumination mean?
If you play the game.
Is it supposed to be culmination? That looks like, I don't know.
Escape, adventure, and bullet hell, shoot 'em up game, pardon or kill. Let the madness begin. At the edge of despair lurks the unsettling past and the unspeakable truth.
I have no idea what any of that means.
Yeah, I don't either, but it comes out on July 5th, so Arcade
Get it tomorrow.
Arcadegadon.
That's supposed to be like Armageddon.
Yeah,
Arcadegan.
Arcadegadon.
There we go. Look it up. July 8th.
Comes up July 8th for the PC, PlayStation 4, PS5, and Xbox consoles. Steam's description reads, a competitive multiplayer game that provides a mix of PvE and PvP experiences that allow for all different speeds of play. So this is a first-person shooter that you can check out. Looks fun.
Wow.
Next, we have AI, the Somnium Files. Who comes up with these names? This week is like,
it's killing you.
It's
Killing me. It's killing our audience.
Nirvana Initiative, AI, the Somnium Files. Nirvana, like it sounds like I had a stroke.
Somebody's listening to this who like recently had a stroke, and they're like, "How dare you?"
Oh,
Reminds me of that Family Guy episode.
the Wear Brothers podcast supports all stroke victims.
That's true. We actually know a few. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
We do?
Yep. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad's friend.
Yeah. Yes.
My stepfather, John.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Side note. At lunch today, I told everyone they brought up Malort.
Yeah.
And I brought up the Ken trying Malort for the first time story.
They liked that one, didn't they?
They laughed hysterically.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, stay tuned, folks. If you've never had Malort, God bless you. If you have, I don't know what's wrong with you. Malort is a drink that my stepfather loves, and it's found close to Chicago, where he's from.
It's a Polish drink.
I don't know if it's necessarily Polish, but it's like part of the Polish community over there. It's not very strong. It's not a whiskey. It's not a bourbon. It's its own thing, and it literally tastes like twigs and tree roots. It's horrific.
That's how I got this facial hair. I was 12.
Ken had no facial hair. He did a shot of Malort and turned around and went, yeah, pretty much. It'll replace Rogaine.
So let's get back to
I'm sorry.
the AI, the Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative. Comes out July 8th for the PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox consoles. Special agents Mizuki and Ryuki, along with their AI partners, Aba and Tama, are tasked to solve the bizarre half-body serial killings in the sequel to the critically acclaimed AI, the Somnium Files.
They should make a game where it's like it has like a microphone. You just gotta pronounce people's names and words. You pronounce it wrong, and they're like, "Oh, -2 points. You suck."
Coming up next, we have Madison.
Comes out that's July nice and easy. Well. Wait, why is the I lowercase?
Mad Eye Son. That's like how.
I know. That's how the title is.
Yes.
Is it supposed to be Mad Eye Son?
Maybe. Comes out on July 8th for the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox X and S. Mad Ison is the first-person psychological horror game that delivers an immersive and terrifying experience. Yeah, this has been a terrifying experience. With the help of an instant camera, connect the human world with the beyond. Take pictures and develop them by yourself. Solve puzzles, explore your surroundings, and most importantly, survive.
Wow, that does sound terrifying.
If you like horror games, that's one to play. And last, let's just get through this. Yep, let's keep going. Last but not least, Klonoa Fantasy Revere Series, July 8th for the PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox. Klonoa is a 3D side-scrolling action game series whose first title was released by Namco in 1997. Set in a unique universe populated by a range of original characters, the game follows the hero, Klonoa, as he sets off on a journey to save the world. So I have seen like this main character. Obviously, we're just reading from a Word document that we had put together. But if you were to look this up, Taylor, I guarantee you'd recognize this character from games.
Oh, would I now? How do you know that?
Because I did.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I like side-scrolling platformers, so that'd be kind of cool. Very nice.
It'd be right up your alley.
Oh, it's up my alley, all right.
Up your alley. So this week in history.
Up your alley. Up your alley.
We got some kind of interesting ones. So this one is not a game, but this is actually a developer. I didn't realize they came out so long ago, or was founded. But the company Bandai, which most people may know from the merge with Bandai Namco.
Oh.
Bandai itself was founded back in 1950, 72 years ago.
It's a good year.
Week. Yeah, I guess so.
It's a good round number.
I like Bandai. I like Bandai Namco games.
Me too.
They do the Tales series, which is good. And which is good. So they also, but we have Metal Slug. The first Metal Slug game came out 26 years ago, and back in 1996 for the Neo Geo CD. So
Neo Geo.
So obviously we never had a Neo Geo. One of my favorite YouTubers, the Happy Console Gamer, he actually just came out with a video a couple days ago talking about different regrets that he has, and one of his regrets is that he doesn't have and started buying, like, he buys and collects video games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he does not have a very large Neo Geo collection, which he wishes he had back in the day. Because
who doesn't wish they had a large Neo Geo collection?
Because they're really expensive now. So like games are like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that's why I wish I had a large Neo Geo collection. I could sell it to him.
I didn't know if you were. I see.
Actually, I had no idea they were expensive.
Yeah. So, but Neo Geo had a lot of really good fighting games. You know, like the Fatal Fury games, Final Fight games, whole bunch of different fighting games. Metal Slug, of course, Samurai Showdown, all that. A lot of really cool games for the Neo Geo. Actually, would have been a fun system to have, but alas, we did not.
That's right, because we were a Nintendo family until you ruined everything by buying an Xbox 360.
That you were very thankful for.
Did I ever say thank you for buying that 360? Things like, okay.
No, you go.
I was going to say things like Mass Effect and Red Dead Redemption. I played some Call of Duty Black Ops on there. I think that was about it. Mostly Mass Effect and Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else on there? Fable 2?
Oh, I had Fable 1 and I never played the third one, but actually I take that back. I had Fable 2. I played the first Fable on the PC, The Lost Chapters. Fable
Did
Lost
you beat
Chapters.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, add it to your list.
Oh. Anywho, so this next one that we have on here, I found pretty funny because it's SimCity 2000 came out 26 years ago, and if you do the math, that means it came out in 1996. I did not realize that SimCity 2000 for the PlayStation came out in 96.
It was anticipating what it was going to look like in the year 2000.
I guess so.
They did not nail it at all.
No, I was not I'm not a Sim fan.
No, when I was
Sim City, Sims, any of that.
when I was a kid, the first computer I had was a compact Presario, and there was a game that came on it, and it was like SimCity, but it was for kids. So you had like little hot dog burger joints and soda places, and like it was all cartoony and stuff. But you basically build a city. I can't remember what it was called, but it was just like SimCity, but for kids. It was pretty cool. I liked it.
Huh.
Little throwback there. Whoa! I almost caught that.
So bad.
Anyways, all right. So that covers our normal stuff for the week. And now we'll get into our deep dive. We had a lot of information to cover. So like I said, there were 2 Nintendo Directs over this past 2 weeks. Pretty big one with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and they had a Nintendo Direct Mini. So Ken, this Xenoblade is right up your alley.
Yeah.
This is one that you've talked to me about. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I haven't played, but it looks pretty cool. What were your overall impressions of this Direct?
Overall impressions is a lot. Like if I just had to sum up, it's just a lot. I unfortunately have not played through and beaten Xenoblade Chronicles, but I have played through and beaten all of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I absolutely fell in love with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Also, with watching, I watched all of the previous Xenoblade Chronicles 3 directs leading up to this one as well. And something that it does seem like they're keeping with the Xenoblade Chronicles series is the storyline does act, it's very well written and very, like it's very deep and also dramatic in the sense of like it's a very serious storyline. There's obviously very cartoony kind of funny parts, but ultimately it's actually kind of like a gritty, like very deep storyline, which when I played through Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I was actually surprised just how, I guess, mature, I guess the storyline was. Not mature as far as necessarily graphic, but just the subtext of the storyline and just the plot itself was
like the overall arc and like what was at stake type of thing.
Yeah. Like, which I was impressed with. Again, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I like I said before, I love it. I thought it was a very fantastic game. But for someone who has never played any of Xenoblade, what was your impression from the Direct?
Yeah, so like kind of like what you said, just big. So I knew very little about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I knew nothing about 3, the storyline, anything like playthrough. When I first started watching it, probably the first third of it, I was like, wow, this game, first of all, it's beautiful. Graphics are amazing. I like the story of the fact they have, 3 people from one group, and then you have 3 people from an opposing group, and then it coming together to like work together to like, go about the rest of the game. And as I slowly started talking about all the abilities in the game and people who can join your team, at first I was like, oh wow, this is really cool, and this is really cool. And then I'm like, holy crap, it just got to a point where it was like there's so much to do and like so many possibilities, and how you can have like a 7th member join your team and they can be interchanged, and then you can like pair up and you can make attacks with like different people and different classes. And I'm just like, there's so much, it's almost like too much. Like a lot of times when I play a game, I want to be able to just play a game, but I feel like some games are becoming so complicated. You have to do so much outside research to know about, okay, what's the best possible combination of like uniting these 2 people and uniting these classes, and who should I pick for this class, and what does this class have the ability to do? And to me, it just got to be so much where I'm like, all right, I'm out. Like I'm out. There's like already too much to do, and I wasn't even like halfway through the description of the game and like what you could do. Was kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, so I definitely with this Direct where they actually dove into combat details and actual systems and how the game is going to work. Yeah, they definitely are carrying, because even with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it was kind of like a ongoing joke. And it wasn't even a joke. I mean, literally like 20 plus hours, I think even like 30 hours into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you were still like something would happen in the game where a new system was being added and you'd get like a tutorial how something worked even 30 hours into the game. So it's just like,
Yeah, it's a
oh,
lot.
like and granted, like it was like relatively minor at that point in time, but still, just the fact that like new things were being added all the way through the game, it was pretty wild. But yeah, so this one definitely looks like a lot more of that. It almost seems like they're leaning into a little bit more of an RPG. I mean, the for the first two games were definitely very much tried and true RPGs, but with this one, it seems like they're adding even more RPG systems. The combat looks very similar. The combat looks like a mashup of one and two, which is really cool. Like I said, because I really liked the combat of two. So I I don't. I'll be interested to see how the main character. So there's six main characters.
Hmm.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did a very good job. I mean, that was to me that was one of the high selling points of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was the characters, and the characters to me were just so memorable that I looking at these characters, I haven't necessarily created any bonds with these characters yet, even just from the video. So I'll be interested to play it to see how I like these characters. Because like I said, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the characters like just right from the beginning, you fell in love with them. Like you they were just very well done right from the get
Hmm.
go. So I'll see. We'll see how this comes out at the end of the month. So we'll learn how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just seems like there's a lot to do. I mean, like you touched on, so there's three people from one faction, which is the Agnes, and they three from the Kieves, Kieves, that one,
Keeves, yeah.
Kieves. So basically, they're like opposing sides, but they end up coming together and realizing that like what they're fighting for, there's something bigger. Like so, the graphics are beautiful. A couple things I did like about it, they touched on is like you can navigate through the map and you actually like set a path to follow, which is kind of cool. And then also like you can just warp to like different parts of the map as well. I assume like once you've gotten there and unlocked it to make traveling a lot easier. Um, the fights, it was all like real time fighting, like real time battles you could jump into, which is pretty cool. Interesting that they were saying like different. So like when you attack the monster whoever you're fighting, like different points of contact on the body will like do different damage depending on where you're attacking it. I mean things like that. There's a lot of it I thought was super interesting, but again, it just got to a point where there was like so many things you could combine to do in it where I was just like, wow, this is kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, so I will say with Xenoblade, and I imagine this will be very similar with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I played through it, beat it, and then put it down because it also it's a single player game.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe a year or so later, they came out with DLC for it, and so when the DLC came out, I got that. But because the game is so involved, and since I hadn't played it in a year, when I went to go play the DLC, I was like, I am
Couldn't remember
completely
anything else what was going on.
yeah, so I couldn't get into it, and I never played through the DLC of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So yeah, so which is kind of funny, but
That happened to me when I first got the Switch. I got Breath of the Wild, but I didn't download both of the DLC packs at the time. Played through it, beat it, and then I jumped into I think Super Mario Sunshine because I bought the 3D All Star pack. So then I spent probably I don't know a month or two playing that. Then I finally decided to download the DLC for Breath of the Wild, and I completely forgot like the controls, everything. I'm like, what in the hell's going on? But eventually got back into the swing of it and beat the DLC. But yeah, I know exactly how that goes.
yeah. But
So
something that I really like here is anyone who's familiar with the holy trinity of MMORPGs when it comes to when it comes to DPS, tank, and healer. I do like that this game has that in place as far as your classes for the characters. You can switch the classes of your team to have someone as the tank who controls pretty much the battle, increases the defense of your other party members, makes sure that the monsters that you're fighting focuses their attacks on that person. Then you have your DPS, which stands for damage per second. Your attacker, your person who does more of the heavy damage, can freely attack. They don't have quite as high defenses, but their attack is much higher, so they can freely attack. And then you have your healer, which can support and heal the party. So it's a trifecta that's been used in many MMOs. That's why it's known as the Holy Trinity when it comes to parties like that in MMOs. So it's cool to see that implemented in this game, the single player game, which they pretty much did have in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as well. But I think it's really cool, and you can freely switch your classes with like any of your characters can be any of those classes. So for instance, they listed for attackers, they have for DPS classes, they have sword fighter and ogre. For the tank classes, they have heavy guard and tactician. And for the healers, they have medic, gunner, and zephyr. So those are each going to have their own style and feel to them. So I'm really excited just to see how each class, how uniquely they feel. And you have you can control, if you want to be a tank, you can control someone who's a tank. If you want to be an attacker, you can control who, like you're not just locked into just being one character. You can, like you said, you can freely switch. So I'm excited. I think this is going to be a huge game. I'm really excited to see what they can do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I like that aspect, but then when you go through the rest of their abilities, so after you get through that, you can like string together attacks for like chain combo attacks. Then you also can learn like a master art system, and then you can have fusion arts, which will combine two of them into one. Then you add in getting a seventh hero can join your party, which can also rotate out through. And then you have Ouroboros, which is where two characters can fuse into a powerful creature. And I'm just like, it just seems like keep getting stacked and stacked and stacked. And I'm just like, holy crap, there's just so much. Yeah, just let me kill some things.
Yeah, so I imagine that all of this, again, how it worked in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is they did do a good job of, they'll introduce this layer.
And you'll play it for like a little bit, and then they'll dabble in the next thing, and then do that. Yeah, I know, but
and
still.
So it does, I completely agree, it does look and feel, again, even for me, it's a very overwhelming to see just everything they have involved in this. But I'm really curious to see how long this is going to be, what the base playthrough of the game, because this has side quests, along with main quest. And so, yeah, I'm very excited, though. I'm very excited.
Well, touching on how long, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't know if this will be a day one buy for me, just because Monster Hunter just came out, and I know I'm not going to be anywhere near done Monster Hunter by the end of the month. But this will definitely be a game that I do pick up and play through.
I was going to say, so touching on where the game is going, so they do have an expansion pass available for $29.99, which is going to include 4 upcoming DLCs. I think the first one is available day of launch, I believe. And it's supposed to be over the next year and a half of these DLCs coming. They already have them planned out.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if I'll wait until all of the DLC is released to pick this up and play through. I don't know for sure, but
well, I mean, if that's the case, I don't think the third or fourth one's coming out till end of next year, so it's a year and a half away. Right. Monster Hunter going to take you that long?
Well, Monster Hunter is a game that you don't you can keep there's an infinite replay value in Monster Hunter.
I see. I would probably know that if I ever played a game like that, but I haven't. So. Anything else you want to add before we leave our Xenoblade Chronicles 3 direct?
I'm just still amazed that the release date got pushed up. I'll take that as a really good sign that they're really confident in this game.
That it's ready.
Yeah.
And then you find out in 6 months they were like, we were rushed to bring it to the market and everything's terrible. I'm just kidding.
Are you going to pick this game up?
I may, dude. I have so many games on my backlog already of stuff I haven't played that I have saved. It definitely, it definitely looks good. It looks like a game I probably would enjoy. I feel like every week we list out games and I'm like, I'll definitely get to this at some point if I have time. I never seem to have enough time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I
but it
like
looks really
that.
good.
I would try to see if you could play through Xenoblade Chronicles 2 first. Play that because
Okay.
I imagine that the storylines will connect in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. 10-4, good buddy. So moving on from there, we have our Nintendo Direct Mini that came out last week.
Oh yeah.
Basically, just a whole bunch of updates on a bunch of games coming out. We touched on, I think, 2 weeks ago, the Persona 3, 4, and 5 coming to the Switch. Is going to be in full HD with English and Japanese voice acting, all sold separately. Persona 5 is right now the only one that has an official release date of October 21st, and the other two will be coming eventually. Have you
Yeah.
so prior I'd heard of the Persona series and how big it was. I'd never seen anything about it until like just recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played Persona 4 Golden, which is essentially just like it's like Persona 4, but with a not with anything, but just like with all the DLC and some updates made to it. I played that for the PS Vita, and then I also
Live in La
played
Vida.
Live in La Vida, and then I played Persona 5 for the PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay.
Very Persona 5 is obviously very a lot of people really love the game, so I'm sure it will do very well on the Switch. Um, I got it just because of the hype around it. Played through it. It's certainly fun, but it's slice of life, high school slash RPG game. Yeah, it's turn-based action. It's cool. It's fun. It's
Cool.
it's a very stylish game.
All right. Touched on, we have a announcement here for Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which was, I mean, it's essentially, what they have the Mega Man Legacy Collection, Mega Man X Legacy Collection. So this basically will come with, if you buy it in physical form, it'll have two separate, so you have 1 through 5, 6 through 10, or if you buy it digitally, you can get all 10 in one package. So now this is one I have not played before, but you said I know you're a big fan of the Mega Man, the Mega Man Battle Network series.
Yeah, these are some of my favorites. Obviously, the Mega Man X series, probably. Well, I mean, just Mega Man X, Mega Man X 0, 1, 2, and 3. Played through and beat those. Really like those. But yeah, Mega Man Battle Network, really, really great. Different, like a different take on the Mega Man series. It's more of an RPG Mega Man. So I'm really excited. I've played through the first 3 Battle Networks, I believe. So this comes with a collection of 10. So those of you who don't get too excited with thinking that this is Mega Man Battle Network 1 through 10. No, it's Mega Man Battle Network 1, 2, and I believe in Battle Network 3 there was 2 versions of 3, and then there was like 2 versions of 4, and then maybe 2 versions of 5. I can't. I don't know. It might just be Mega Man Battle Network like 1 through 5, and then it has both versions of the other games.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So
I assumed it would have 1 through 10, but maybe not.
Nope.
Okay, just kidding.
Yeah. So that's why I'm clarifying for everyone. Who thought that?
Much.
You're welcome. Yeah. So like Pokemon would come out like red and blue.
Yes, red and blue.
Battle Network started doing that with their games. So they had like Mega Man Battle Network 3 something and 3 something else.
How dare they? So we also have here on the Direct Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope gets a release date of October 20th, and they also introduced Bowser as a playable character. Is this the second or third in the Rabbids series? Do you know?
Okay. Real quick, I just want to touch on this. So the 10 games for Mega Man Battle Network is you have Mega Man Battle Network 1 and 2, and then you have Battle Man Mega Man Battle Network 3 blue and Mega Man Battle Network 3 white. And then you have 4 Red Sun and 4 Blue Moon. You have 5 Team Proto Man, 5 Team Colonel, and then 6 Cyber Beast Gregor and 6 Cyber Beast Falzer. So there you go.
Alrighty then. That's very exciting.
So I'm sorry. Yeah. So I've never played any of the Rabbids games.
Yeah, me neither. I don't quite understand them other than they're like Mario games, but you can shoot stuff, right? Kind of, sort of.
I guess.
Well, we're just a wealth of information on this one. Yeah, I haven't played either one of them. So I know this is at least the second one of the series. I don't know if there's been more or not. They also have you played anything from Portal?
I have. I played the first Portal game.
So they have the Portal Companion Edition coming, available now. It includes Portal 1 and 2.
I'm not a big fan of puzzle games like that, so
yeah, I see it, but it doesn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
But if you're into that, yeah, this is for you. 1 and 2.
Available now.
Available now. We have Nier Automata. Oh God.
Automata.
The end of Yora Edition.
Nier Automata.
What? Nier.
It's pronounced Nier Automata.
That's what I said. Nier Automata. It's an action RPG coming October 6th. It includes the previous DLC content as well as Switch exclusive costumes. Ooh, Switch costumes, my favorite.
So this is, I'm not sure about the end of the Yora edition, but Nier Automata is an RPG that one day I will play through because it is a very loved and very well, highly regarded RPG.
Very nice. I didn't know nothing about it. Harvestella is a new RPG from Square Enix, our friends at Square Enix. Combines RPG elements with a lifestyle sim gameplay, according to IGN.com. You're a farmer working to prevent the Questius. It's the season of death. I hate it when that season comes around.
Wow. This got really dark. As I say, this sounds like Harvest Moon, and then it quickly did not.
It's Harvest Moon until they try to kill you.
Yeah.
And it releases November 4th. Ken, is this going to be a day one buy for you?
Absolutely not.
What? Okay, sounds good.
No, I don't know. I do like these style of games. They are, they can be fun. So.
Well, yippee-ki-yay. Then we got the Return to Monkey Island coming to the Switch in the Switch first later in 2022. It is the newest game in the series. It's a puzzle game. Did you play anything of the first one?
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, me neither. I did read something that could be the last in the series, but who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Faux show. You're a Bomberman fan?
I am not.
Same here, man. Most of these games they all announce, and I'm like, nope, maybe, nope, definitely not, nope, yeah. Anyways, Super Bomberman R2. They have a castle mode. It lets you play as a team of up to 15 players trying to basically acquire treasures while the other players try to stop you. It's kind of a capture the flag type thing. You can also create and share stages you create. That is coming next year, 2023.
Cool. I know.
Yeah, I never played any.
There, but.
Yeah, I know there's a ton of people out there who are Bomberman fans. I've never played any of the Bomberman games.
So our friend Josh, he's a big Bomberman fan. So Josh, if you're listening, Super Bomberman R2
is for you and 14 of your friends. Live a Live. Okay, this is one I definitely want to get. It's been a long. This is right up Ken's alley as well. It's an HD 2D remake. Is this a remake or is this an all new?
No, this is
remake.
Live a Live is a game that has only released in Japan.
Okay, yeah.
Like back in the day, I believe for the Super Nintendo.
So demo is available now. Full release is coming, well, later this month. First 3 chapters are available as part of the demo. So I will definitely pick this up. I'm super excited for this one.
Are you going to download the demo?
Maybe. Definitely might.
Definitely will maybe do that.
They also talked about this other dumb game that came out.
Dude, that hurts my feelings when you say that.
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Ken, do you know anything about this? I haven't heard from anybody I know who's playing this.
Yes. An
Update
update
on-
on the game is coming. So as always, Monster Hunter they do updates, DLC throughout the course of the lifespan of the game up to like a year or so. So
I'm just kidding. I heard this game's amazing. It was so amazing. The person sitting next to me in a chair didn't talk to me for an hour. Anywho, Monster Hunter Rise, for you millions and millions of people out there. Actually, I know it has a huge following. A lot of people like the game. I was just kidding. It's not dumb. Blanc. This actually looked pretty interesting. So you play as a fawn and a wolf cub working together to make it home in the snow. Did you see the video for this? It looks absolutely adorable.
it does.
Reminded me of the Fox and the Hound from Disney.
But it's called The Fawn and the Wolf Cub.
They grew up and the
Blanc.
wolf cub eats the fawn.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
They like make it home. Fuck, the wolf cub's like, man, that was great. I am starving. The little
Fawn's like, yeah, me too.
me too. Just takes out his jugular. It's supposed to be black and white until the wolf cub rips his throat open. There's red everywhere. Viewer discretion advised.
How does
They're
this
like-
get the M rating?
They're like 98% of this game is rated G for everyone, except for the last 2 minutes of the game. Then look away.
Rated
Anyways,
G for everyone. I mean
sorry.
E for everyone.
I was thinking G because movies.
Movies.
Anyways,
Yeah.
anyways,
Rated G for everyone.
rated G for everyone.
For everyone.
You can play with friends in local or online co-op. It'll come out in February of next year. Yay.
Cool.
Speaking of Disney, Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's a life sim game in the world full of Disney and Pixar characters. Coming out September 6th of this year. Yay. Ken, is this a day one buy for you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. This one's actually kind of interesting. Dragon Quest Treasures. Basically, it's a Dragon Quest spin-off. Releases December 9th. You can play as Eric and Mia, and you team up with monsters to find treasures.
So I believe that Eric and Mia, I believe those are the characters from the Dragon Quest Builders
Mm-hmm.
games,
Okay.
which is essentially like Dragon Quest version of Minecraft.
Makes sense.
But yeah, Dragon
Okay.
Quest Treasures. Cool. I'm a big fan, obviously, of the Dragon Quest RPGs, but will not be buying this one.
Little Noah, Scion of Paradise. It's an action game. Release date. Wait, what? Oh, it was. Sorry, it was released the day of the Nintendo Direct. You can play as Noah along with your pet cat named Zipper.
That's a nice name for a cat.
I know, right?
Come here,
Explore ancient ruins, fight enemies and bosses, but if you're defeated, you start all over.
So this is like a roguelite adventure type game.
Exactly. Yeah. This next one's kind of interesting. RPG Time. So the Legend of Wright. Basically, you're Kenta. You're a new game creator, and you're working on your first RPG. It's a hand-drawn RPG, and you play through Kenta's notebook. Over 200 pages of puzzles to solve, draw, and erase. Releases August 18th. I saw the video for this. It looked very confusing. Like you literally like go through a level and then you could like erase and draw new stuff over it.
Yeah, it was a really interesting concept.
Yeah, very interesting.
I like it's one of those where it's just like, oh, that's really cool. I'll never play this.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody once recently told me about this game that came out, Monster Hunter Rise. I felt the same exact way. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I couldn't get it. I could see for a moment you're like, oh, what game is he?
Oh,
That's funny. Lorelei and the Laser
love
Eyes.
this episode.
It's a puzzle.
Lorelei, the laser eyes.
I know, it sounds pretty good. It's a puzzle mystery game. It releases next year. That's what you got. Puzzle mystery game. Like puzzles? This is for you. Doraemon, Story of Seasons. Friends of the Great Kingdom. The Japanese mascot, Doraemon. Is that like a Digimon?
No.
Oh, he stars in a new game, and players basically harvest crops, tend animals, and use its secret gadgets. Build a ranch with friends with this life sim. Coming later in 2022.
Good stuff.
That's good stuff right there. What else? What could I say that hasn't already been said about this game? Then we got a remake, Pac-Man World Repack. It is a remake of Pac-Man World, releases August 26th of this year, where Pac-Man has to rescue his family taken to Ghost Island.
Ooh.
What can I say that hasn't already been said about this game? It's Pac-Man, but
It's
in
Pac-Man.
3D, and it's a remake of another 3D game of his. Then we got a rail sim, Railguard. Basically, you're a railroad management game. You're building railways and systems to transport cargo, and it releases this fall. Wow, that is riveting.
I like how I take all these these sim games is it's just building the Matrix, right? So like eventually we're just gonna have 3D headsets and you're like, oh, Hannaford Supermarket Simulator. And you go grocery shopping or work at the grocery store, and Bank Simulator, Bank Teller Simulator, gas station
games.
simulator.
I know. They're like in 20 years, you're all just going to be plugged into the Matrix. So we need to build a world for these people to inhabit. And they're like, hey, we'll release this new video game. I'm trying to go. It would be a terrible like janitor simulator. You clean up puke in kids' bathrooms.
I know it. Toll attendant simulator.
You're like, here's your ticket, sir. Here's your ticket. Yeah, but why do we sell toll people? I mean, Easy Pass has been around for like 25 years. Who in their right mind doesn't have an Easy Pass right now?
I mean,
I know you just got one. You just got one. I know. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I know.
Anyways, that'd be awesome. A toll booth simulator. All right, last we got here, Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump Plus Dimension. Who comes up with the titles for these things?
That's what I'm saying. My rage.
Dude, I have right over here the sign that says Rage Quit. Anyways, you play as a young boy who recently moved to Japan. You choose to live in his imagination as a superhero, Captain Velvet Meteor, and he teams up with his favorite manga characters to escape a mysterious world. Releases July 28th. And fade out.
As someone who's a big supporter of mental health, if you're a young boy who recently moved to Japan and you choose to live in his imagination as a superhero, probably should seek some psychiatric help, because that doesn't sound too healthy to me.
He's fine, Ken. He's good.
Just
I was side note, my son Braden and I were coming home from somewhere the other day, and he had his tablet in the back, and all of a sudden I noticed the tablet just stops. I look in the mirror and he's just staring. I'm like, what are you doing, bud? He goes, I'm just using my imagination. I'm like, that's cool. He's like, yep. I'm like, sounds good, buddy.
You didn't ask him what he was imagining?
I think I did. Can't remember what he said, though. I was driving, so I was a little distracted. But he was talking about some sort of world he was imagining. I was like, good for you. You should use your imagination.
Absolutely. Because before it's too late, that's all you'll spend your life doing. You're at work and you're just like...
I know, right? That's why I do my work now. I'm like, I wonder what I could do this week on the podcast. Click, 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 click. Yep. Ooh. Legend of Zelda. Anyways. All right, guys. This is our first YouTube video. I'm sure you're on the edge of your seat.
First YouTube video with video.
With a first video.
First video.
Ken, where do you think we stand in the runnings for this year's Oscars?
Probably close to the top.
I got to, speaking of YouTube, and Braden, so for weeks, well, probably a few months now, he's been obsessed with basketball, and he tells me that he wants to be a basketball player. So all he wants to do is play basketball. And I just say to him, I hope you're tall, but That's I like it. Go for it. And then we were driving somewhere, and again, he pauses his tablet. Dad, I don't want to be a basketball player anymore. I'm like, you don't? Like, that's all you've talked about for months now. No, I want to be a YouTuber. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Big shift. Big shift.
Yep. I was like, yo, here we go. So, yep.
Well, that didn't take long. If that isn't a sign of the times.
I know. I met after we got to where we were going, I immediately texted his mother and I said, it's finally happened. She's like all concerned. She's like, what? And I go, Brayden no longer wants to be a basketball player. He wants to be a YouTuber. I think there'll be classes on that. There's to college.
There probably already is.
There probably already is, yeah. They're going to be like, all right, this is how you market yourself. We should take those classes. Anyways.
Well,
what am I talking about? We got millions of people emailing us every day.
Millions.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah. Anyways.
Email us at the warbrothers.podcast@gmail.com.
Thank you. Or check us out on Instagram. Or Twitter.
Or Facebook.
Or
YouTube.
Ken, we should make a MySpace page.
There are people out there, I'm sure.
We could play our music in the background.
Yeah.
I saw, I think it was a comic, somebody was talking about how somebody was saying, they were like, the universe has finally come like full circle. Someone was like, you know, it'd be great if when people clicked on your Facebook page, you could have music playing in the background. And they were like, okay, we used to have that. It was called MySpace. I remember MySpace. The games you could play on MySpace. Did you ever have a MySpace page?
Of course I did.
Did you? Okay. I don't know if that was like just before your...
Don't know what this was, but...
I was like starting out and then... No, yeah. Because I created, I think, my freshman year of college, or my sophomore year of college, I think is when I finally got a Facebook page and MySpace at the same time.
At the same time.
Our younger audience is like, what the hell is MySpace? Wouldn't you like to know? Anyways, another great week. Anything you'd like to add before we rapidy wrap things up?
Yeah, I want to go golfing again.
Dude, golfing was so much fun. The first hole was 513 yards. It was great. We go to leave the clubhouse, and Ken asked the lady, hey, do you have a scorecard? I looked at him, I go, are we really keeping score? And you're like, yeah, of course. I want to keep score. I'm like, okay, whatever. Ken's very first shot, he dug up like 6 inches of ground before he hit the ball.
No, I didn't.
Like, okay, maybe was it your second swing on? Dude, I remember you chunked your first shot pretty bad. And I just remember looking at you and being like, are we still keeping score? Nobody ever brought up the scorecard the whole time we were out there.
Yeah, it wasn't a keep a score sort of day.
First shot, as soon as you hit that ball, I'm like, we're not keeping score.
But it was a fantastic time.
It was, dude, we had so much fun. Yeah. My best shot of the whole day, you were looking for a ball in the woods. I was so mad. I drove the crap out of that ball. Big old dog driver. And I'm like, yeah! I look over and you're like looking through.
Swimming? I was in the drink.
Pretty much. I was excited that we found more balls than we lost. That was a plus.
That's always a good day.
That is a good day. Except for those 3 other golfers, you're like, where the hell is my ball? I could have sworn I hit it over here.
I know.
But there's a couple times I picked up a ball and I'm like, is this like a lost ball or is this somebody who just hit it from another hole? It's mine now, sucker. They have to catch me on that 6 mile an hour golf cart.
Okay, well, anyway. We hope everyone has a fantastic 4th of July and had a great weekend. And we'll be back with you all next week.
Yes. Let us know what you think of our first video. We're super excited. We hope you are too.
Absolutely. And you know where to find us. Same bro time.
We covered all that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Same. My video got stuck for a minute. Same bro time.
Same bro place.
What channel? Anyways. We're brothers.
We're brothers.